Yeah, so look, I think we've had a good week of practice. I think our guys are excited about going up to New England and playing. Obviously, we understand what we're going up against in terms of a good football team that's extremely well coached. And so it's one of those deals where, they're not going to give it to you. You got to go out there and earn it. So we're excited about the opportunity, though.
How much has it helped or changed the game plan at all to have Derek be able to practice all week versus last week?
Well, I think there's probably a little bit more. Um, I don't know if certainty is the word, but I think him getting those reps and getting that work, it's still, um, he's still a new system and a new scheme, and so being able to, still now just in week 5 of the season, him getting an opportunity to get, a lot of those reps has been, I think, beneficial for him and for us.
Assuming you've got Jordan Howden back this week, what progress have you seen him make between his first start to his second start now that he's been available on practice?
Yeah, look, I think he's done a good job for us. He's still a young player, and so every day there's things that we've got to go over with him. But typically he doesn't make the same mistakes twice, and so we feel confident about his ability to go in there and play. And I think he's got good range on the back end. I think he's a good tackler. So yeah, he's been a good addition and played well for us.
Yeah, as a defensive coach, is there anything that Belichick has done or you've watched that has had influence over you, just kind of your philosophies?
Yeah, look, I think as much as anything, when you watch them, they're very fundamentally sound in everything that they do, and they play a multitude of players in a lot of different positions, so they make some things difficult on you in terms of identifying the defensive personnel package that's out there. And each week it's a new look, and so it's kind of hard to go through and see what they do from week to week, how they're going to look at us and how they're going to plan us. I think a lot of times you can go and you can look at a scheme and you can say, okay, this is what they're going to do, and this is what we really expect for them to do against us, and yet each and every week it kind of changes with them. So that makes it tough. I got a lot of respect for him in terms of his defensive mindset, as well as his just overall knowledge of the game.
I don't know how much you guys will see Keon White since they've got an injury to replace there, but he felt like one of those things, kind of measurements kind of guys heading into the draft.
Yeah, he was a guy we liked. Yeah, he was a guy we liked. I mean, he's big. He's got some good length. He's extremely physical. So I think he's a good player. He certainly was a guy that we had our eye on in the draft.
I know Belichick is usually known for taking away your best weapon. What kind of opportunity does this game present for you to show the versatility of your weapons?
Yeah, well, look, we'll see what their plan is going into the game. I think that is one thing that they've always done a really good job of is, they kind of identify, who are the players they're really trying to take away. And typically they do a really good job of taking those guys away. And so it presents some other opportunities for some other guys, and look, we feel like we've got, several weapons that we can get the ball to. We'll see how they, decide to defend us, but gives an opportunity for some other guys to kind of step up and make some plays.
Dennis, how has Paulson Adebo looked this week, and what does it mean for the defense?
Yeah, I think he's looked good. Look, I think Ike's done a really good job stepping in for him. I think he's played well, and yet I think Paulson brings a lot to our football team. So he's had a good week of practice. We'll kind of see where he's at as we get through tomorrow, but feel good about him.
You mentioned how they have almost like a different game plan each week. So does that put like a emphasis on communicating and figure out during the game?
Yeah, I think really in all phases, offense, defense, and in the kicking game. I think you have to be able to adjust to what they're doing. And typically they have a way to kind of start the game out, and then somewhere along the way, they kind of make some changes and adjustments, and so it's kind of a chess match and being able to match their adjustments, as the game goes on.
How much split focus have you had between game plan for Mac Jones and
Say that again.
How much have you focused was splitting the preparation for Bailey Zappi during that practice?
Yeah, I think, we're preparing for, their offensive system and their offensive scheme. And I don't know that, one quarterback changes that dramatically. And so we basically have, kind of looked at, what they've done throughout the season. We've studied, things that Bill O'Brien's done in different places and different stops along the way. So, we'll see what their plan is, and just like we were just talking about, I mean, we'll have to be able to adjust depending on what they're doing.
Chris Olave was saying yesterday that he kind of had to check himself and adjust his attitude after that last game. What's that conversation like for you guys with him when you see some of that stuff kind of happening?
Yeah, look, I think it's still don't forget he's still a young player, and so you're still learning how to be a pro each and every single week, and that's complicated. It's a hard thing to do, to be able to bring that focus, that intensity, each and every week throughout a 17-game season. So, I think he's had a really good week of practice. I'm excited about going out and watching him play. I think he's going to play well.